Hello, everyone. This is the YouTube channel Squirmy and Grubs. And this woman, of course, has got together with this guy for the same reasons that all women do. He's a provider. And people are starting to call it out and say what this relationship is about. And they embarrass themselves by making a video response to this. And they actually only end up proving these people right. Now, first of all, I want to point out this is Roland Delegun, a man-woman myth. Notice he looks different here than he does down here. This is when he was married, and then he got into an accident and got brain damaged, and he lost his ability to earn money, and his wife dumped him. This couple, Shane and Hannah, he is the breadwinner. He's the bread earner. So there's no comparison between these two. This is standard. Now, we'll get into, oh, by the way, does he look like he's capable of engaging in sex? No. So it just shows this isn't about love. It just means that women aren't interested in men's sex, okay? So first of all, this is a bad opening.
Read some really nasty comments. So I thought, what better way to open today's video than to appreciate my mom's blooming orchid?
Yeah, this is her YouTube channel. You notice if you a lot of YouTube couples, they'll be at the beginning together. She's here by herself. So this is her YouTube channel, and this guy Shane is a co-star of hers. He's a gimmick right now because she'd just be another ordinary woman's butt. So this supposedly exceptional relationship is part of the appeal, but there's nothing exceptional about this relationship. Trust me. Matter of fact, you don't have to trust me. They're going to expose it. Now, I got a bunch of timestamps. You see, it's over 6 minutes before they even get into the topic. Okay, so 6:18. Here we go.
I hope you enjoyed that joke.
Let's dive in. So Shane, do you want your phone so you can
Oh,
look?
my notes. Yeah, I made notes.
Shane literally
I prepared for this video.
He wrote all these numbers down. He was looking up different forms.
You hold it up for me. Yeah, I went back through my,
Bank
records,
statements.
Yeah, records and stuff. And I calculated what I was worth, what my net worth was.
Yeah.
When Hannah reached out to me for the first time.
So I think what would be good is if you say all these numbers and talk about it, and then we can talk about what I saw from the outside.
What your perspective was.
And then our experience, in our first 2 years, we were long distance and then we moved in together. So we had a lot of discussions about finances during that.
See, they're talking about, this is typical discussion for couples, finances, right?
So then we can talk about that. But first, let's do the numbers.
All right, so in the year before Hannah met me, my primary salary was $22,000 before tax. So a little bit lower than that. I, as you may or may not know, am also an author. So I had just received my very first book deal ever, right?
So he only makes $21,000, but he's an author and he got his very first book deal. So all you guys, you know that women look for your potential earning, not just what you earned. Shane, this is Shane, this is Hannah. Shane, listen to me. It's potential earning as well, right? So when she heard you got the book deal and you could be an author, that means she says, this guy has potential, right?
Year.
And by the way, Roland here has zero potential earning, and that's why his wife left him.
Or maybe a year and a half.
It says on here 2 years before.
2 years before. I should use my notes.
Just use your notes.
2 years before Hannah met me. From that book deal.
Yes, everyone listen. He got his first big book deal 2 years before he met her, not after.
I received $41,000, which, let me tell you, as a senior in college, when I received that, wow, mind blown a million times over. However, about 10,000 of that I put aside right away for taxes because you have to pay taxes.
Yes.
So those are the only two ways that I had ever made money. So at that point in
What difference does it make if it's the only two ways you made money? You're making money. Right.
my life, after I took the taxes out of my book deal, I had $52,000 to my name.
Well, that's what you had earned.
Yes.
That's not like you had that in a bank account. So Shane had in his life earned.
That is an argument against what's going on here. Since he earned 52,000, she's thinking that is your potential earning. Just having a lump sum isn't going to attract a woman in a permanent relationship. She's got to know that you're going to continue to earn that. Right.
Earned $52,000.
Yes, up to the point where I met Hannah.
Yeah. So what did you purchase? Let's talk about that.
Well,
right before we met.
I was a new author.
This is important. What did you purchase right before we met?
Just out this first book deal, I was over the moon about my ability to buy things and support myself. I'm not going to add up like, you know, the meals that I ate and stuff like that.
Especially because you were living with your parents, you didn't have rent.
Right.
You didn't have to pay any like expenses like that. So
yeah, I didn't have a phone bill.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that, you know, I won't factor that in. I will say the day I got my book deal, I went out and bought a TV. So
of course you did.
That's not factored in here, but that was like $1,000. Anyway, so things that I spent money on prior to meeting Hannah, I bought a van for myself.
That's right. You bought a status symbol. So she saw that you had the money to buy yourself a vehicle. Right. So you have earning potential and you're willing to spend your money. Those are two important things.
And my family. The van that we had at the time that was accessible was like 10 years old and run down, and we needed a new one. So I bought one. That cost $25,000. Right? I paid for it all at once, lump sum.
So you've currently spent half of your money.
Yeah.
So you've gone from 50,000 to now 25.
Yep.
Now, she thinks that's being making an argument. It isn't. Like I said, what he's just shown here is that he's got money coming in and he's willing to spend it freely. So that's what's being attractive here. This is not an exception to the rule. This is the rule.
Then because I was living with my parents, we had a smaller home, and
Yeah, well, we can get ahead of this. We don't have to listen to the whole thing. Like I said, next time stamp. Okay, he talks about being an author. That's right. Graduated before he met Hannah. 1049 to 59, I should say.
$37,000 in student loans. Obviously, I didn't pay all that off right away.
Oh, yeah, they think that's an argument that he had student loans, right? Here, let's back this up.
So just with those two items, I basically spent all the money that I had, you know, to my name. But I also graduated the year before I met Hannah, and that left me with...
Exactly. You graduated, so you're out of school and you're on your way to earning
$37,000 in student loans. Obviously,
all you guys listening, you already know this. Women scope out your potential earnings. It doesn't matter that if you're impoverished or owe money. It only matters if can you pay that off and then start earning money. So Shane, you're no different than any other guy. And this isn't an indictment of love. It's definitely not unconditional love.
Obviously, I didn't pay all that off right away. I'm still paying that off to this day. But that was a very real kind of monthly expense that I had to think about.
Yeah.
So those are my financials right around the time that Hannah came into my life.
Yes.
Right. She came into your life once you finished college and made your first book deal. Right.
Hannah,
Yes.
from your
And started buying cars and remodeling your place, right?
perspective,
From my perspective,
when you saw me,
when I saw
did
you.
your eyes light up with money symbols?
No, Shane. I mean, it was hard to tell anything like financially over FaceTime initially, but like very quickly we started sharing about how we had grown up, pictures of our home.
She's scoping out your status, pal. Pictures of your home, pictures of where you live and how you live and what you own. Right.
Like, you know, had we ever moved, places that we had traveled to.
Shane's
I'm so
duplex.
sorry to interrupt. I asked Shane for a picture of his childhood home to put into the video, and he sent it, but he said it's a duplex, so we only lived in the right side.
Exactly. So she's admitting everyone that she thought the whole house was theirs. Right. Okay. So let's see what else we've got here. Let's see. 13, Hannah isn't earning any real money. Parents paying your way. Okay, 1384. Let's get to this. Ooh.
So my parents very generously paid for like
Oh, wait, sorry, I've got that wrong. I said 84. Yeah, that's genius. Let's say 24. Mistake on my part.
after
That
that.
was a lot.
It was a lot, and I was a college student. I had a job lifeguarding and I had an office job at school, but I made like $80 a week. Literally, I think I worked 8 hours a week and it was $10 an hour.
Those jobs did not pay for the flights.
No, they did.
Yeah, now you're hearing it, guys. She wasn't making any money on her own. He was making money, she wasn't. And women don't want to work for a living any more than men do. So that's what's going on here.
So my parents very generously paid for like half of my flights.
Yes,
half
thank
of
you.
the flights.
Thank you, Liz and George, for all of the flights that you
Yeah,
helped pay for.
for all the support. And then Shane would pay probably for like the other half of the flights.
But I remember
Shane, her parents paid for the half the flights and you paid for the other. So you're paying for this relationship. No, this woman is able-bodied while you aren't, and she's not going to work for a living. In fact, she's got a YouTube channel and hoping to make money off it. Right. This is not unconditional love in any way or form. Right. This is typical. You are bribing this woman into your life. Right.
that was such a good feeling, like saving up, $300 and being like, Hannah,
I
like,
can come.
I haven't.
If this woman loved you unconditionally, she'd be working and paying our flights herself and saying, I want to be with you, Shane. Hannah would want to be with you, Shane. And she'd get herself a second job, or a real job at least, and then put money aside and pay for the flights to come see you. But she doesn't. You're paying for them. Right.
Enough to buy a flight for you.
Yeah. So that was like our main expense for those 2 years. And then when Shane moved in, for months and months before he moved
When she touches him a lot in this video, and I find it very cringy because I know just from what's been said here and what they've talked about, there's no real attraction or affection for this guy.
in, he was moving out of his parents' house for the first time. He worked very diligently on a budget.
Right. He moved out of his parents' place and he worked diligently. Right. Very standard attraction of women. Right.
And it was very detailed, and it was very important that we stuck to the budget. And again, my parents had been paying for my dorm room, so they.
Well, so how old is this woman? And her parents are basically paying for an able-bodied adult. Right. Now, what else? Oh, yeah. They gaslight about prenup. Let's see here this. Read about, I'd say about here.
Like 3 in is when we started our YouTube channel.
Right.
You know, and it started
Right.
we started making money in other
Yeah.
ways, and I had just graduated.
Right. And like
That's right. She just graduated and they started YouTube. She didn't get a job. She started a YouTube channel, hoping to make easy money. Right.
I proposed by that point.
Yeah.
Like by the end of that, and we were getting married.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, up until the point that we were engaged, like, there was no, you know, no reason that you would be like, oh, Shane is loaded,
Yeah.
you know?
So yeah, for all of those comments, there was nothing to prenup because nothing happened before the wedding.
Now, who do you think you're gaslighting? Shane's an author here. Suppose he becomes super successful, like Stephen King, millions and millions of dollars. I'm sure Stephen King's a multimillionaire 10 times over. Then he has stuff for you to disappear with in a divorce. So a prenup is also about potential assets, not just what you start off with. So him laughing like this just makes him look silly. There's nothing exceptional about this relationship whatsoever. None. Yeah, like I said, like, this guy is in complete denial, and this woman is not honest about her motivations. Completely standard between couples. And like I said, Shane, this isn't a case of Beauty and the Beast. She's not looking at you and loving you in spite of yourself. You have made enough money to bribe her into his life. She doesn't want to work for a living. And guys like Roland here, when he loses, because he has lost his earning power and he's just a burden to his wife, she dropped him. So that's reality. Again, I'm going to end saying you two are not exception to the rule. And what you've mentioned here has only proven everything that people have said about you. And if you were smart, you'll take this video down because you've embarrassed yourselves. You've exposed what your relationship is about. Okay, so we'll end it here.